Hey friends, it's Sarah, and today I'm going to be setting up my new bullet journal for 2023 as well as my January spread. So to start off, I have my tarot cards as always. The first one that I have is Judgment, which represents new possibilities, change just over the horizon. I think this is perfect for the new year with everyone being more mindful, taking stock of what you did in the last year and then trying to set resolutions and maybe improve yourself a little bit in the new year. The other card that I have is Death, which represents rebirth, clearing away the past, letting go of old hurts, transformation of the self. Again, just the idea of like change and like having a fresh start in life. So last year, if you have seen my December bullet journal setup, you'll know that I was 4 pages short of being able to fill up my bullet journal. So this year I decided to forego some of the pages that I had set up in my last bullet journal in the beginning in order to have enough pages to do all of my monthly setups. So like I didn't do an index this year, I didn't do like what I'm watching tracker or what packages I'm waiting for tracker, because I used them for a little bit, but then I eventually just stopped using them entirely and they just kind of like sit there. So we've given up on those and we're just going for really simple setup at the beginning of this year. So the first page I am doing here is my yearly spread. So this covers 2 different spreads actually, and it's just like laying out all the months, writing out all the dates, and then I have space where I can write in events that are happening, and then I used that like really thin washi tape to section off the bottom part, and then I write down like ideas for my YouTube videos for that month so that I have a place to like put down those ideas that I can look back on, because I obviously don't set up all of my months at the same time. So rather than like losing it somewhere else, I write them in this kind of like year at a glance spread, and then I always know where to go and find them. Sorry that this video is so late. I kept meaning to do it and then having events and then being tired from working early in the morning. So it's a little bit later than I would have liked. I think what I should have done is just given myself a break in between Christmas and New Year's. I guess I kind of did, but I should have intentionally taken a break and had one fewer videos in December. But it's fine. This is here now. We've made it. Thanks for sticking around. I've used this before, but this is actually a bag from like a local bookshop. I bought a book and they delivered it in this cute little bag. Oh, and there is our new cat Daisy, who likes to jump on things and must always be removed from places. But this is a bag from the local bookshop who delivered one of my books in it, and it's just like this really cool kind of old-timey advertisement paper, which is really fun. And I've just torn the edges and glued it into the top of my bullet journal page. I have this book that I use for scrap paper, and I cut little rectangles out of it to be the headers for each month of the year, just because I think the paper looks a little slightly older and it's a little more of an interesting texture than just plain white printer paper, and it kind of adds to that like vintage look I'm going for. I know a lot of people will do like an overall theme for their bullet journals, but that's not me. I cannot be consistent like that, so I just kind of do whatever I want all the time in my bullet journal. So I just wanted to go for like a fun scrapbooky vintage look, which I seem to have been favoring recently. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's kind of like a reverse of what I did for my last year's bullet journal, where I had like the pages of a book as the background and then like craft paper as the little headers. If you want to take a look at that, I'll link my last year's bullet journal setup up top and in the description. And then I just write out all of my days of the month so I can see when they all land. And then once I've got everything set up off camera, I like go and like highlight all the events and write out all the dates that are important for me for the year. Also, please ignore my fingernails. My lovely friend did gel nail polish for me for a Christmas party that I attended, and she did an excellent job. They're like red and glittery, and then 2 of them have holly leaves on them. But I didn't realize how difficult it is to get gel nail polish off, and I was in such a rush to do this that I only managed to get it off one hand, and I was like, whatever, screw it, I'll fix it later. So they're kind of a mess, just don't look at them, it's fine. The next spread that I decided to do is my grid line setup. So this is just like marking off measurements in the bullet journal that I use pretty often. It's mostly like thirds, quarters, and halves. And then I also wrote out all of the numbers of like boxes across the top and the side, just as a quick reference guide. And I put it on the left-hand side so that it's easier to reference when I'm flipping back through my bullet journal. I wasn't sure what to do with the next page, but I ended up just doing kind of like a blank YouTube ideas spread, just as like a space to like write down ideas for YouTube videos that might not necessarily belong in a certain month, just something that I might consider doing later on. Then for my January setup, I am again going for that vintagey kind of look, and I thought it would be fun to kind of do like buildings that are important or interesting to me. So for this month, I decided to draw the Orchard House, which is like Louisa May Alcott's childhood home, and also like the inspiration for the home in Little Women. I believe in Greta Gerwig's Little Women, like from 2019, they actually filmed in like a replica of Orchard House. And so like all the rooms you see in there are like what Louisa May Alcott would have lived in for part of her life. And it's also like the exterior is in the 90s version of Little Women. It like looks like this. So I just thought that's kind of like fun. I love Little Women. If you don't know that, it's like one of my favorite books. So I just thought this would be really fun. It's like a cute little house. Then I used a few of my stickers to add to that kind of vintagey feel. I'm not sure if I'm super sold on them, but they're on there now, so we're stuck with them. The washi tape I chose for the edge of my page is a Vincent van Gogh one. I always associate January with blue, so I just chose a blue one that I hadn't used before. And then I have, as always, my handy dandy sleep tracker. December was kind of all over the place for sleep because I was quite busy with my job being super busy around the holidays, and then I had lots of activities I was doing, meeting up with friends who were in town for the first time in a while, hanging out with family, doing all sorts of holiday activities. So it wasn't too bad, but it was definitely kind of all over the place depending on what events I was attending. Here's hoping the new year brings new sleep. Probably not, but we can dream, can't we? I then used my Crayola pencil crayon to color in the Orchard House, just brown. I initially wanted to do like some snow on top of it to give it more of a wintry feel, but I'd already drawn out the house in pen and wouldn't be able to draw snow on it without the line showing through, so I gave up on that idea, and it's just a house now. I also don't think I could very easily draw snow that looks like snow. And I decided to do colors that were like kind of close to the actual house, just like various shades of brown, nothing super fancy. My next spread is my monthly spread for January, so just laying out the month so I can write in all of my events and when I work and just whatever's going on. I usually write down what YouTube videos I'm going to be filming along the left-hand side between like where the washi tape is and where the day starts. I'll write like sideways what YouTube video I'm doing for that week. And then I did my little to-do list in kind of like a ripped paper look and wrote January 2023 in my brush pen, and then used another brush pen to color in the line where all the days of the week go, once again in blue because to me January is a blue month. And I used a brown pencil crayon to like very lightly color in the to-do list heading. I decided to do like windows for the weekly setup. I'm not sure if it comes across super well that these are supposed to be windows because I didn't want to draw like the, I don't know, like the bars on them and stuff to make them look more like windows because then that kind of interrupts my writing. I do need these to be functional, but I took inspiration from a few Pinterest like doodles of different window shapes, and so that's kind of what the idea is here. I did think maybe that I would take my like super light gray zebra mile liner and go back over them and like draw like the lines in there. I don't know, I'm still considering it. Maybe I will do one and see how that looks and if it's still like usable or if it just distracts too much from like my writing. I think these are super fun. It's just like different little shapes, nothing too complicated, but adds some interest. I hope y'all had happy holidays, got some good time off, got to eat some good food, and are enjoying the new year. And that is my setup for 2023 and for January. I think we're gonna have a good time this year. I'm hoping that it's gonna be a good time this year. The bullet journal's ready to go and I am ready to take on the world. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.